they mention my name, they will say champion. My legacy is champion. My obituary will read champion. Every time they mention my name, they will say champion. Because I am a champion. Every day that I get up, I say good morning, champion. When I look in the mirror, I see a champion. When I go to the gym, I work out like a champion. When I eat like a champion. And the stuff I read makes me an even better champion. The stuff I put in my mind is champion. Because all day I am a champion. From sunrise to sundown, from the moment I open my eyes to the moment I close them, I am a champion. I pray, I think, I speak, I walk like a champion. No loss, no setback, no mistake will ever change that. I'm a conqueror, born to succeed, anointed to prosper, blessed and unstoppable. And I will arise out of the ashes because my God will not fail me, because I am, always have been, and always will be a champion. Greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. I can do all things because with God, all things are possible. And I am a champion doing the impossible. Failure is not an option. I refuse to concede because I'm a champion when I bleed. My blood is champion. And anything that stands in my way, I will go through it, over it, or around it because I am a champion. Nothing can stop me. Blessed and unstoppable. I am the undefeated, undisputed, never beaten champion of the world. The world says I'm a loser. I get up every day and go to war with that statement. They think I'm lazy. I'm hungrier than ever. Beast mode, I'm eating all competition. The devil says I've got no money. Money comes to me easily, frequently, and abundantly in God's perfect way. The world says I'm crazy. The world belongs to the bold. They remind me of the losses I've taken. They say I'll never recover. I serve the God of restoration. I will make a comeback. They say you can't pay your bills with dreams. Success will come off the assembly line of my mind. They say I only have average talent. Hard work and discipline are the great equalizer. Why don't you get a 9-to-5, a normal job that pays every week? Because I'm the head and not the tail. Above, not below. I was strategically designed for greatness. It looks like your God has forgotten you. My God will never leave me nor forsake me. You really believe all that stuff you're saying? Destiny is obligated by universal law to concede to the demands of unwavering faith, and I believe I'm a champion, committed, hungry, dedicated, fearless, bold, never wavering, full of faith, anointed, prosperous, strong, righteous, focused, disciplined, willing to do whatever it takes to be a champion. I will arise one day and make a fool out of all those who doubted me. I will live with no fear. I will boldly attack the things that scare me. They will not stop me on my destiny. No health issues, no job issues, no financial issues, no relationship issues. Nothing shall stand in the way of my divine calling because I am a champion. I was born a champion, raised a champion, have always been a champion, will always be a champion. My legacy is champion. When it's all said and done, on my headstone, they will write champion.
Kobe Bryant. I'm going to get to the story real quick. This is Rick Young, another segment of What's in Your Hand here at GACR on the campus of Grant Projects. I'm going to tell this quick story. I wanted to share the story for Professor Leroy. But before I say that, Professor, did you know that Kobe Bryant wrote a letter to the game of basketball?
No.
Oh, my God. This guy wrote a letter to the game of basketball after he retired. That letter was turned into a documentary. That documentary won an Academy Award. He wrote a letter to the game of basketball. The name of it is called Dear Basketball. I know you got to go. We probably should have played that too. I don't know if we got time. You probably need to write a letter to Jeremiah. You need to do that. You need to communicate, write a letter to him. And How much time you got, man? You got to go.
Yeah. The incident on the bus.
I'll send you the letter Kobe wrote. Dead basketball. So I'm on the bus.
A 1-point game.
He got time. So. Yeah, so
The bus.
I'm on the bus. I'm on the 102 bus coming uptown, right? I'm sitting in the back, big long bus. I got the whole area to myself. I'm sitting back there, so I got my little thing, a little machine in the pocket, looking at it. We got like uptown, like maybe like in the 90s or something like that, maybe 106th Street area. I didn't really pay attention to exactly what street we were on. But these 6 young ladies got on the bus and they started walking to the back to where I was. And they came back there. I was the only one back there. They kind of like surrounded me. They was like here, they was there, right? They was like on both sides. And they was talking loud. They was cursing. And they was going back and forth like, yeah. And then they took out the phone, the machine in the pocket, and was showing a video. I don't know if they knew the girl that was in the video, but the girl was like kind of heavy, overweight, a little flabby, and she was like just shaking. And so I'm looking like, so I'm peeking. They cursing back and forth, saying, certain words. And so I'm looking at the whole scene. So I'm saying to myself, I said, I ain't saying nothing. Because they had to look like, if you say something to them, it's going to be on. It ain't going to be like, you could just say something to them and then that's that. They'll suck their teeth and keep. They had to look like if you say something to them, get ready to throw down. It was 6 of them, right? So I'm sitting back there. So they were saying, she had said something about the girl would go in a restaurant and just drop her stuff and just be shaking. Something, I wasn't really paying attention. I was catching parts of it. So then one of the young ladies was sitting across, because the way the seats are set up back there is like going both ways. Yeah. It's like someone's facing this way and someone's facing this way. Right, exactly. So the young lady that was facing me, I was like, I kind of peeked over, and no emotion. And she was like, oh, he not interested in that. Something like that. But her face must have gave me to say something. And I did. I said, excuse me. Because not long after she said, oh, he ain't thinking about that. Something like that, right? I said, excuse me. I said, the only thing I want is for all 6 of you to be successful. They said, oh, thank you. Oh, wow. God bless. Okay. Wow. So I'm like, okay, okay. And then maybe like 30 seconds later, I said, also, it's possible. It's possible, I said to them. My stop came, got off the bus. They said, all right, bye, take care. Bye. See you later. Okay, wow. Yo, what happened? But can you break that down? Because I got off the bus, I was like, yo, what just happened? That was...
Success is a positive.
Yeah.
In a zone where when they look at TV, Love and Hip Hop Family, NBA Housewives, NFL Housewives, Basketball Housewives, you see a lot of material stuff. That's success.
Okay.
But really, we know success is beyond that, but it's not articulated to us. I think that what you dropped was small to you, but super, super powerful and big to people who don't hear validation that you can be successful, you look successful, you have what it takes. And all of that is in that all I want is for you all to be successful. And for each one of them, that relates to some dream or hope that they have. That's my reaction. And you were blessed to be there, to be sitting there, because what I've noticed on these buses, regardless of how empty it may be up front, our children, our young people are going to the back for whatever reason. It's like, why are you going to the back? But anyway, that's my reaction to what you dropped, and it's possible. You drop. It really is a message to you. That's a formula, and part of a formula that can be used by Brother Leroy, by Brother Doug, by the sister here,
Dawn.
by yourself, on a repeat basis. If we don't have anything to say,
I just want to see you be successful.
That's a common denominator.
Yeah.
A common denominator.
So
that was a blessing for you.
So let me add to that. A lot of people might be, Oprah Winfrey going through some stuff now, her and Gail, they're going through with the Russell Simmons and all. But I went to see her 5 times in like 2 years. She was giving these seminars called Live Your Best Life. And I went to these seminars, and one of the things I walked away with, she said,
She.
Huh?
She. You said she. Who's she?
Oprah Winfrey? Yeah, Oprah Winfrey. She was on stage speaking, giving a workshop. And one of the things that I walked away with, she said it on, I went 5 times, on 5 different occasions. And she says, the universe is always speaking to you. Correct. But she said it usually comes in a whisper. And then a pebble, then a rock, then a brick, then a brick wall, then an avalanche. But she said the key is to sit down, shut up, and listen. Sit down, shut up, and listen. The other thing is that sometimes we get the call, sometimes we don't hear the call. We don't realize it's a call. So this thing happened on Thursday on the bus. Now on Saturday, I meet this young lady, Dawn, and she comes in asking me some questions, and we wind up talking, and I find out about her son, Jeremiah, the prophet, that he got murdered at 15 years old. You lose a son at 15? And so that life, I apologize, but we're gonna work that life. We're not gonna. You said you don't want him to be forgotten.
With every last breath in my body.
Dr. Velma Bowes said it today. She spoke to Jeremiah. So I just wanted to. And so she walked in with this information about, this is epidemic. It's a virus. Young men killing young black men is just.
Sister Bowles pointed out that it's set up that way.
Okay.
When it happens, you don't see the setup. You just see what happened to your daughter, your son, your husband, your wife, whomever. But the system is set up that way, and it's too involved. Because when people hear that, they say, well, you just blaming the white man. And really, a black guy killed my son or my daughter, etc., sold the drugs. That's what we see at a non-informed level. And we're not informing our people so that we can see the hidden hand, the setup artists. The sweetness of this game that they play on us is that all we see is ourselves. We don't see the setup. It's set up that way. For example, they know a thing called density. Density is so many people per building, per floor. The density of people, they know that if you increase the density, and they've done this with Dick Gregory was explaining at MIT, a building where white students primarily lived up in Massachusetts at MIT. The density was so great, they began to fight one another, suicides, all kinds of criminal behavior took place among them. You increase the density and you increase the likelihood of antisocial behavior. And that's the same thing. They in the NYCHA houses, how is it that houses in the NYCHA system could be out of water? Ain't no pipe break or anything like that, but be out of water, no water. And it's as though it moves from one housing development to another. When you read the papers, I'm not talking about the recent one where I think it's this house, but they move. It just don't happen that way. It don't happen down at Peter Stuyvesant houses on 14th Street. But
we don't hear about it. If it does happen, we don't hear anything about it. Well, I think what they really have is a hit job on NYCHA. I got on the elevator and my daughter lives in the NYCHA building. I get on the elevator on Thanksgiving, and they're on the elevator trolling for apartments with that no heat. And I remember saying to the two young people on the elevator, with the guy at the camera and the young lady with the microphone, I said, "Oh, y'all on find out what's wrong with NYCHA duty?" And they both put their head down. I started laughing. I said, "I'm happy." I did the Rick. I said, "I'm happy y'all both got a job." And then they open right up.
You said.
Y'all on what's something is wrong with NYCHA thing. One of the reason why I'm saying that, one of the reasons why the reason why we are sitting here, the very reason why we're here, absent of what Dawn's talking about, because we kind of share that, Dawn, so you good. But absent of that, the reason why we're here, because we were sitting in a meeting with the tenants and they were doing the usual complaining, and one lady said, "Anybody ever notice that you never hear anything good about the housing authority on TV?" And she said, "Has anybody ever seen a good story?" And you could hear a rat piss on cotton, obviously. And one lady said, "I think it's against the law." So I said, "Why don't we just start our own station and come in and talk about the shit we want to talk about and forget them." I didn't use the forget word, by the way. I used another word.
Yeah, right.
I used another word that starts with an F. But I'm not cursing today because Rick's mother's already complained about me cursing, and she said some good pie and cake on that I ate on her birthday. Yeah, we had cake. See, but that didn't stop me from cursing. I'm sorry, Rick. So the mother ain't shut me up with that. But the reason why this is possible is because the stories and the issues need to get out. It doesn't matter, like Dawn was talking earlier, it doesn't matter what you think your reason is. The point is you get to talk about your reason. You get to talk about your reason. You get to have your theory. You get to say what you think, and nobody's filtering it. Right. You can even, you know what I'm saying? And sooner or later, if you keep doing that, people are going to start listening and come to some sort of consensus about, oh, yeah, that happened to me. Because that happened to me on the bus with Rick. It went a whole nother way. Because the kid was a bunch of kids, and the kid was totally disrespectful. And he was on the bus cursing, and he was just out of control. And he looked at me, and he said, "Fuck you," to me. I ain't say nothing to him. So when I stood up, I noticed that when we got to the thing, there was two young black cops standing at the bus stop. So we pulled the bus stop. He was popping all that stuff. I just opened the back door window. I said, "Yo," to the cop. I said, "You got a guy in here, he going to bust your ass." Cops came on the thing. The dude he was on the young kid. He's about 15, and he was up there cursing, a little Spanish kid. He was cursing and everything like he had been doing. And when the cops got on the bus, he got quiet. I said, why you keep quiet now? And they just took him off the bus and took him over the corner and spoke to him. Which is, again, I think that's part of what Dawn was saying when she was talking about society earlier. You need a whole bunch of people to look after a whole bunch of people, because one thing that I know for sure, nobody asked to come here. I don't care what the kid is. I don't care what your parents. You don't get to pick your parents. You don't pick your parents, bruh. Okay, and you don't. Excuse me a second. One more. And you don't get to pick your kids. Go ahead, Rick.
What's the name of the show? What's in your hands? What's in your hands show? Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was a Doug show for a minute.
Well, we're gonna turn Rick's microphone. No, we never do. We never do that, Rick. We never do that. Go ahead.
Michael Beckwith. Are you familiar with him? Michael Beckwith. He was in The Secret. Wife is a singer. I had him on the show.
Yeah.
Sister Daya had him on the show. She loved him.
Yeah.
So I was on interviewing him, and I told him about a situation that happened on the bus where a girl came on. She was cursing. A lot of people on the bus saying this and that. I said, what do you do in a case like that? Man, this brother is so smooth. He got the Agape Church out there in California. Mm-hmm. He said, pray for her.
I like that.
Pray for her. I said, oh, wow. It's powerful. Prayer is powerful.
That's one way. No, another one, they're alternate.
Method.
There's something you said before that Oprah said, and
the universe is always speaking. Sit down, shut up, and listen.
Another discipline is yoga.
Okay.
And in yoga, you are quiet and you use thought selection and thought control. Thought selection is that when we are quiet, all kinds of things are coming into our head. All kinds could be something we saw on TV, could be a bill, could be anything. But what you want is to have a clear mind. So when the thoughts come in, you just push them out. You just dismiss them. And over a period of time, when you practice this, you will come up with a method of clearing out stuff you don't need and focusing on that which you want to focus on. Mm-hmm. Okay? What you want to focus on is the God message, is to be in tune with oneself, the God within, and get those positive thoughts, those constructive thoughts to have life in your head. So it's thought selection and thought control. Control means you keep the stuff out that you don't want to get in. The thought selection is the things that you want to focus on. And when you become one with that, where she says, keep quiet, blah, 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 that's a technique. That's getting into the technique. The other thing is that you have to practice it over a period of time and believe that you will get a message. The message, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us, he says, when you have a problem or a challenge or an opportunity and you need direction and you don't necessarily know the answer to it, he said you have to ask God, and the answer will come to you. It's guaranteed to come to you. It can come from a baby. It can come from TV. It can come from opening up a magazine and seeing an article or something. It's going to come. Know that it's going to come, and be open, be sensitive, have your radar open for wherever it comes from, and you'll know it when it comes.
Look what happened to this sister, Dawn. She didn't realize she was going to be in a radio studio, sharing.
In a real studio.
Yeah, let me get your feelings on what you've heard so far.
Well.
And this is Professor Leroy here. They call him Brother Leroy, but I call him Dr. Leroy.
Okay, how's this?
Good, great.
Okay, so yesterday when I was telling you my situation, it was shocking to me. One, because I didn't expect that kind of help. The help I've been looking for was not the kind of help I expected at that moment, because we were at an event and the event was over and I was going home, and I came downstairs to ask you how much it cost to rent. And you asked me what I wanted to do. And I was thinking about fundraising, because I want to start programs up in the community. And I have been working on it, but I'm going to put this out there. I'm going to put a little bit of personal information about myself out there. I suffer from PTSD.
Is this before or after?
This was before. I got diagnosed. See, a person could be suffering, but until they get the diagnosis. Uh-huh. So I was finally diagnosed in 2017 with PTSD.
Did you find out, were you diagnosed before Jeremiah or after?
Jeremiah was murdered in 2019.
Okay.
I got the actual diagnosis in 2017, but I've always had issues.
Not to cut you off, we're going to get right back to that, but can you imagine how many people walking around, other people don't know it? But go ahead.
Okay,
continue.
So I suffer from PTSD, anxiety, and major depression. So going through the morning for my 15-year-old son and dealing with those issues is extremely difficult. When this first happened, when this first happened, I've never been through anything like this before, and when it first happened, I'm going through, of course, bouts of depression.
What the hell happened?
So,
How that happened?
Okay, so
I'm saying that's what you think to yourself.
yeah, I still
And what is PS?
post-traumatic stress disorder. I suffer from that. I suffer from anxiety. I don't get on the train. I can get on the bus, but I really don't get on the train by myself. That's why it takes me sometimes so long to get somewhere, because my husband has to go with me, or one of my daughters will go with me. Sometimes even to the corner store. So dealing with those mental issues, and then dealing with the morning, wanting to get out there and fight. There are days that I have posted my petition on change.org. I've posted my GoFundMe for my son. So, because I put a GoFundMe and a Fundly page up to garner money, because I want to get incorporated to start to make my foundation legal for my son. Okay? I was doing so much. Then I was doing all this around the time of his birthday. So now I'm doing this.
When is his birthday?
His birthday was January 5th.
Okay.
So he, of course, was already gone by then. So I had the pressure of the party. Of course, the pressure of going to the cemetery on his birthday, which wasn't a success because I didn't want to spend my child's 16th birthday. Whew. Sorry.
Take your time.
I didn't want to spend my child's 16th birthday in the cemetery. And I ended up going the next weekend. After that, I had such a crash and burn that I stopped posting. And then the guilt set in. People really don't know. Life really goes on for you. It really goes on for the person it didn't happen to. Even if that person is your brother, your husband, your sister, your mother. For somebody that it did not directly happen to, it goes on differently. You understand me? Like I told you, I wake up every morning wanting to die. I go to sleep every night wanting to kill. You understand me? And if I'm lucky enough to wake up the next morning and and it's switched over, I'll wake up wanting to kill. Then that's a bad day for everybody, and I can't keep doing that. So I'm trying to take my negative energy that I have plenty of.
Feeling okay right now, right?
Oh, I might cry.
Okay. I mean, but that's all.
Yeah.
Okay,
No.
cool.
Okay.
Okay.
Let me explain something to you. I have a lot of wants, and I have a lot of desires, whether they're good or evil. But to act on them, I still have that sense. Now, if I acted on it, then I have made my peace with God, and that's that. But at this moment, I decided that I'm going to get back up. I'm going to fight for Jay. I got to fight for me. I'm going to get back up. I'm going to try again. I'm going to try and try and try, because it wasn't right what happened. He was just standing there. May 19th. No, my bad, May 17th. It was a Friday night. It was raining. And I went to look at a job, because I don't work. But I was going to look at a job, a cleaning job, a simple cleaning job. I went to Brooklyn to see if I could do it. If I could do it, it would have been 6 days a week. You understand me? So that would have helped out. But I got the job, was on my way back. And I said, you know what? I'm going to go to church. You understand me? I haven't been to church. I've just been blessed. Let me start getting back. I got on the train, got off in Brooklyn, got off the train over here on 127th Street, going to a St. Nicholas houses. I promise you, when I got off that train, my son was still alive. By the time I got to my apartment at 240 West 129th, my son was dead. From the train station to the door. It happened that fast. And people don't understand. Okay, now this is the flip side of understanding my pain. I'm not the only one in pain, and I'm not the one, even though I'm his mom, I'm not going through the most, because when Jay was murdered, Jay was with his friends. He was with Ty, John, Quell, Greg, and Tayshawn. There was another young man there by the name of Michael who was not a good friend of the crew's, but they let him in the crew, which today I'm not gonna say negative things about the young man. However, it was your argument. That it was your argument, and you told whoever to come over there. I'm not saying that the person he told to come over there did it, but wasn't nobody else arguing but you. You understand me? And I'm just gonna leave it at that because, like they said to me, I'm angry. I'm the mom, so I'm locked in. You did it, and I might be just looking for somebody to blame. You understand me? He did not pull the trigger. Do I believe he had something to do, whether you was complicit in the act or some type of way. But nonetheless, those boys saw Jay get shot. They saw it, and they have to live with that for the rest of their life. And they're so young, and they're babies. You know, I always ask somebody, when did your hell start? My hell started when Quell and Jock got to my house, and Quell was banging on my door. Miss Dawn opened up, we're not playing, it's an emergency. And when I opened up that door, he said to me, Jeremiah was shot. It still didn't hit me. I said, where? He said, in the head. It still didn't hit me. Because all I remember, I turned around and said, get dressed, get over there. He's been shot. I'm calling his father, yelling, Jay's been shot over there by this place. Go over there. I get outside, and I see my youngest daughter crying. And I see the boys that came and got me, and they're just, everybody's like this. And I walk up, and the EMS is over there.
Everybody was like, what?
Everybody's just like, you know, it was like,
stunned.
they was stunned, but, you know, didn't nobody say nothing to me.
Of course.
So I went up to the cop, and I said, I'm his mother. He said, they're still working on him. So I see EMS with the gurney, and they start walking towards me with the gurney. So I turn around, and I yell, Jamira, come on. He's on the gurney. Come on before he passes. And when he passed us with the gurney, the equipment was on the gurney. So I'm steadily watching the gurney walk away with the equipment. And when I turned back around, they was putting the sheet over my son.
Oh.
So, you know, of course I was angry. I'm still angry. And everybody over there knew that my baby was dead, but me. And I had, you know, I came upstairs. My daughter was pregnant. Jamila was pregnant. She was hysterical. I wanted her to get to the hospital because I didn't want to go through any more tragedy that night. So they went to her and her father and her baby father went to the hospital, and me and my husband went to the precinct. From the precinct, we then went to the hospital. They sent me, her, and him home, the baby father, but I couldn't go home. I couldn't leave until they got my son up out the ground. They had my son out there until almost 3:30 in the morning, till about 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. Jay passed at 9. The time of death they got is 9:35 at night. My son was out there on that ground until going on 4 in the morning because I couldn't go upstairs, and you're still out here.
Yeah.
So after that, it was about 2 weeks more before I saw him. And everything just keeps racing through my mind. Like, I wish, like it was a movie. Like, I often think maybe if I had screamed, he'd have woke up. If I had said, Jeremiah, he'd have woke up. But it's not a movie, it's life. And if he was gone at 9:35, by the time they came and got me, my voice wouldn't have woke him up. You know? And people just don't understand. They don't understand when you're getting high all the time. And they don't understand you're not getting high. You're just feeding a habit. There's no such thing as a high after you lose your child. After you lose anybody, because you can lose your next door neighbor and have an unsurmountable love for them.
That's right.
So anytime you lose somebody that's that close to your heart, there is no amount of liquor, weed, or any other kind of drug. You will never be, and this is, because I have 4 kids. My oldest son is schizophrenic and bipolar. When my youngest son, I haven't seen him. He did not come to that funeral. He won't, and when I was still living in St. Nick, he wouldn't come over there. So I've moved, and he says he'll come, but I thought he just didn't want to come to the area.
Okay.
He's not coming to see me. That one bullet destroyed my house, some, his friends. It affected them.
Yeah.
It affected your mother. Because in the beginning, I was mad with that young man's mom. And I was like, I wish, of course, I said some things. And now I'm just wondering, could she have been like me? You understand me? We, sad to say, sometimes we don't have the help we need.
Correct.
It's not only the black man that needs to come back to the home. Big mama needs to come back to the home too. And those of us women that had that motherly type in our life need to act like we had that motherly type in our life. You understand me? Now, I don't do everything right. I ain't no saint. There's people out there right know me. They probably hear me right now, but like, not doing need to stop. I ain't claiming sainthood. I'm just claiming wisdom. You understand me? That's all I'm claiming. I can see. There's no, what is your purpose in getting older if you have no wisdom? Mm-hmm. And there's too many older people walking around with no wisdom. When Jay was shot and killed, I ran into two different men. One man preaching no God. The other man preaching revenge. And if these are the solid characters that we have in the homes, then we still doomed. Just because you don't believe in God, what made you not believe in God? Don't inflict that on our young people. It's bad enough. They get up every morning and their life expectancy, is like 12. Your life, how do you think they're going to act? How do you think a 15-year-old boy is supposed to act today when your life expectancy, you might not even make it to the second legal? The first legal is 18. The second legal is 21. You know how they do it in increments. 18, 21, 25. You barely making it to 18. The people that they're looking up to are getting killed. Pop Smoke just got killed last week. Kobe didn't get killed, but he did die. You understand me? The life expectancy of our young black men is horrendous. It's not even 21 no more. It really isn't. Jay died. A month later, another person died. 2 weeks after that, another person died.
In the project in St. Nicholas?
Okay, I'm going to tell you about St. Nicholas. March 16th, I had a neighbor on the second floor that was murdered. May 17th, Jay was murdered behind the school in St. Nicholas. A couple of weeks later, there was another man on 7th Avenue murdered. And what I don't understand is, how do we have all these cameras in the area and everybody keeps walking in just like it's a free for all? All we're doing is giving the press something to report. You understand me? When Jay died that night, later on that night, around 5 o'clock in the morning, I couldn't sleep. I guess I wanted to see if it was on the news yet. They had my son, the Post, had taken a picture of Jane's body bag and posted it and printed it out. And after it happens, these people are nowhere to be found. The press could help in aiding to find these people that's committing the crime. You're reporting the crime, but you're not following up, because I'm going to tell you like this right here. Nobody, and I mean nobody, not even the president himself, is going to treat Jay like he's another little black boy from the project that's got killed. It's not going down like that. I will die before I let that happen. So that's why, I'm fighting myself to get up and do these petitions and try to bring forth a program into the community that will bring families back to the table. Like I said, stop and give one of these young kids a hug. You understand me? Give them a hug. I guarantee you, that boy must have ran into about 5 different adults on his way to kill my son. Whether he meant to kill my son or not, you meant to kill somebody. You didn't point that gun in the air and fired it. You pointed it into a group of boys and fired it. So the intention to harm and kill was there. Now, whether it was meant for my son, you meant to break up a family. You meant to destroy somebody's heart. You just didn't know that when you destroyed my heart, you destroyed those boys' hearts. You destroyed your own mama heart. You destroyed your sister's heart. Life will never be the same. And this is, how can it be the same? How can you go to sleep and wake up and be the same person?
Now, do you believe that Jeremiah came here for a very specific purpose, even though he left at 15?
I believe it was his time to go. The way that my son left this earth, and I say that to any and everybody, what I usually say is it could have been possibly that it was just his time to go. Everybody have a contract. Everybody got an expiration date. And I should have known because at 4 years old in the house, Jay got up on the bed and clutched his throat and said, "Mommy, I can't breathe." At 12, if I'm not mistaken, Jay was hit by a car. When we went down south, we was in and out the hospitals for 3 weeks. And that could have been God's way of telling me, I'm plucking him away. Get ready. He could have been trying to just get me ready. My son died laughing. You understand me? He didn't choke on his blood. He didn't beg for his life. He wasn't hooked up to machines. And though I do know people who have lost their sons that way, I wouldn't want that for Jay. I wouldn't want that kind of, like the turmoil I'm going through now of waiting for the cops to call, going to a trial. I wouldn't want the turmoil of tubes. And Jay carried himself a certain way that led everybody to believe he was older than what he was. Jay was 15. People thought he was 17. People actually thought he was his sister's older brother, and the older sister was the baby. And I just honestly believe that that's how I cope, that it was his time to go because of the way he went.
Okay, I'm glad you said cope. So I did ask the question is, do you believe that Jeremiah was here for a special reason? And also, I want to follow with Brother Leroy. Like, is it possible to rise above even this? Is it possible?
It's possible.
Professor. Professor Leroy?
Well, pardon me. When you run into calamities, misfortunes, etc., Brother Wayne, who used to be my partner, he's deceased. Brother Wayne and I, we'd always talk about getting a positive out of a negative. And what that does is that changes the energy from a negative to a positive. You say, well, what can I get out of this? When you go down the list, you go down and make a list. Protect my other children, protect my grandchild, change neighborhood, guide other children out of, you want to do dinners and whatnot, bring people together. And that's not admirable, it's necessary. What Don shared with me very quickly is dinner time together does not exist in our community. It probably doesn't exist in other folks' community, but we're talking about our community. And the dinner time, eating together, whether it's breakfast or lunch on a weekend or dinner, at least 2 or 3 times during the week, is going to put people in contact with one another at a table or in the same room, TV off, computer off. That's a major problem that we have. I've thought on this for a long time. And for you to pick up that notion, that idea, or see that as a remedy, that comes out of the murder of your son. So is it possible to rise above that? Yes, with help. But by doing work, by working, by going against, the woe is me, getting over in the corner, you say, what are you going to do based on this thing? What are you going to do based on the laws?
Well, the system. I am one of those people. I don't believe that the white man. I do believe that society sets it up to fail. Okay, like say Nicholas Houses. I don't know if you know in NYCHA they made a no smoking policy rule, right? But now you're making weed legal. So which you get what I'm saying? So now, do you see the stupidity? First of all, you're focused on the wrong things. The NYCHA is so focused on stupidity. Y'all put money into stupidity. They don't put money into the grounds. You have St. Nicholas, which is not the biggest project. It's 14 buildings, 8 floor each building. That's about 150 give or take, probably less. But it's over 140. You have one camera in the building, and that's the leveled floor. A camera on each elevator. There's no cameras in the staircase. There's no cameras above the first floor. And you do have cameras outside that you are allowing contract vendors or whatever to cover up when they do their work. You need to put more money into making the area safer. This is NYCHA. This is NYCHA's property. But because we can't afford it, it was like just give them a place to live and the hell with them. And it's not right. Yet, though, I see mad housing workers till 9, 10 o'clock at night getting overtime to do nothing. I'm not coming, and I'm not attacking NYCHA workers. So please, I hope if you are listening and you do, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about what I've seen. If I ain't never seen you, please don't take it personal. But what I'm saying is they just putting money into the wrong things. Why do you care if I smoke inside of my apartment? Well, you should be concerned about what's going on outside the apartment. Your cameras can catch somebody pissing on the elevator, but all the murders and the robberies and the rapes, y'all don't catch none of that. I remember one time I was in my apartment when I was in 240. I seen about 10 to 15 boys go on my staircase with one girl. Now, I don't know if she willingly went there. I don't know if she willingly went there for a reason and it turned into something else, because they were preventing her from leaving. I called the cops and told them I believe there's a young girl being raped on the staircase. An hour later, they come. An hour later, they come. A whole hour. Now see, this is part of my mental problems because I start jumping from issue to issue. So if I've digressed from the issue, please let me know.
Well, I have a question, and
Okay.
this question is for everybody that's in the room now, including this guy over there, including him. I said earlier.
I'm allowed to say something?
When I asked this question, I said earlier before you came in, you might have not heard of this guy before. He plays basketball. He goes by the name of LeBron James.
Yeah, I heard him.
You heard of LeBron James?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Won a couple of championships. Well, I was speaking to Brother Leroy, Professor Leroy, Dr. Leroy, that this man invests $1.5 million in his self. Training, fitness, chef, nutrition, stretching, $1.5 million. So some people say, oh, he's rich, he could do that. But what if we was to invest in ourselves, not $1.5 million, but whatever we could afford, and invest in our personal development in the community, what would happen?
We would take this world over. Let me explain something to you. There are so many talented.
Don't tell him that.
We would take the world over.
Do not say that to him.
We would take the world. If we each was to invest into ourselves, where it could benefit our community. You understand? If it could I'm gonna put the spotlight on myself. I'm investing in myself, meaning that I like to cook. But the only way I can tell people I like to cook is to cook for them. So when I have like a little dinner party or a gathering, I act like it's a big event. and I present Dawn. You understand me? So hopefully one day somebody will say, you want to come cook for, you know, I want to do, I need that as a platform. For one, that's how I cope.
We don't do pork, so
Oh, well,
we don't do pork.
I do everything.
And no pineapple on the pizza.
No pineapple either. Now that's just
No. He talking about pizza, but we don't do pork, so.
Oh, so I mean, if you want to do that, now that is something I wanted to do. I want to bring the dinner table back to the families because I believe that that's just the time you should have. Now, I didn't have a dinner table in my house growing up. I did not have a dinner table raising my kids. You understand me? When I say I didn't have a dinner table, no, we didn't have a spot in my home where we all could sit down at the same time.
Oh, wow.
You understand me? If I told you how I grew up, you would really, like, from the situation I came out of, I had to basically raise myself to change my views. You understand me? I didn't have a dinner, but basically I didn't have a dinner table. But mother liked to cook. She always made Sunday dinner.
How many brothers and sisters?
I only have 2 brothers.
Older or younger?
Older.
Okay.
I have family down south, so I have a brother down south. My other brother from down south has passed away. I have some sisters down south. But when you go down to their houses, whether they're sitting there or not, the place setting is already there. They've already set the tone for what's it going to be for the day. This is how. You go into one of our houses up here, because I've never seen a dinner table that's been set up with the fork, a spoon, the bowl, the plate. You understand how it's old school. They don't have that up here. You have set the tone for the day. But you don't set the tone for the day when you don't have it to set the tone for the day. You know, at one time, I used to use a lot of styrofoam plates. I stopped because you got to teach somebody common sense on how to hold a plate in a glass. Every little bit counts.
Yeah.
You don't need to eat out of a styrofoam plates is for disposable. You get so used to disposable, you don't want to buy nothing that you want to take care of.
And people don't like washing dishes either.
People don't like washing dishes. But that is why do you have to constantly use a styrofoam plate, a styrofoam cup, paper cup? Get some glasses and teach yourself and your kids, whether they're little or older, this is what you do with a glass. You don't throw the glass in the sink, you put the glass in the sink. But yeah, you put it down in the sink, pick up the sponge and the soap, wash it out, turn it upside down, let it drip. You understand me? You can't teach that kind of kitchen stuff to people that don't want to be in the kitchen. See, Jay loved to eat. Like, my thing was this: if you have an open palate, an open palate is just like a different language. You get what I'm saying? It's just like a different language. A lot of people do not go into certain restaurants because they don't know what this is. A lot of people don't eat healthy because they assume it's expensive. It's only expensive because you made it expensive. You understand me? You eat potato salad?
I do.
When your mother used to make you potato salad, she used the whole bag, right?
Just the whole what?
She used the whole bag, right?
Oh, I don't know how she did it, but
Whole
I
bag
know
of
it
potatoes.
was.
Right.
I know it was good.
I started doing that, and I found that I was wasting.
I know it was good.
But once
How was you wasting?
because I didn't need to make the whole bag. One person, one potato.
Oh,
You understand
well,
me?
based on the number of people, yeah.
I'm making a potato based on if you one potato looks very small until you cut it up and cook it, then it becomes very big. You understand me? It's enough,
Right.
but we don't teach that. So there's a lot of waste going on, and I know I'm digressing from the issue. I have so much to
Where's your
say.
knowledge of cooking come from? Have you done culinary, or you just studied
It's
your aunt, your mother, your
my
grandmother?
mother loved to cook, so I started learning to love to cook. And when it really struck me was a few years ago. I was over 300. I was going on 300 pounds.
Wow.
And I put up a cooking page because I was going through my bout of depression. And cooking kind of, it gets me excited. It gets me going.
Mm-hmm.
So I put up a cooking page on Facebook, and I actually saw on the screen what me and my family was eating, and that was not the message I wanted to put out. So I started using a lot more fresh garlic, a lot more fresh ginger, in almost every meal. Like I will use a bulb and a half of garlic for one pot. I am a garlic lover. I lost over 100 pounds already. I changed the way I eat.
What, it was cleansing?
I just didn't like what I was projecting in my food on Facebook. That's really, honest to God, what started it. I decided to start making everything from scratch. So if I eat a cookie, it's because I made it. If I eat cake, it's because I made it.
You're definitely going to be back here. That's a fact. We're going to have you back here. That's for sure.
I would love that.
The other thing, I would need a favor from you, though. I need you to start working on that Jeremy letter.
The Jeremiah letter.
Jeremiah letter.
So, all right. So, okay. I was going to do that there's a rally. We're planning a rally for Jeremiah for May 17th, because that'll be a year to appeal to the public for help in finding these people. Because I was telling you that the cops have stopped calling me. The attorney don't call me. And as I thought about it really yesterday, they put a picture up of a 15-year-old boy in his neighborhood that he grew up in, from a parent that was in that neighborhood for 47 years, from a parent who already had 3 kids before him, who already had his other parent lives in. You get what I'm saying? So with the history of your family in this project, that was not the picture the cops should have put up. The cops should have put up the footage that they had seeking the public's help. Everybody knew who Jeremiah was. They all saw his face. To put that picture up is like you aiding in the anger that's being placed. Because now I gotta walk out and see his picture all the time. And read this story. That should not have been the poster.
The picture is of your son?
Yeah, it was.
Why is the picture?
Who killed him? This is the victim.
Yeah, it was one of those. They need information on who killed this young man.
Oh, and that's the picture they used.
Yeah, they did the same thing with the man that was killed in my building 2 months before Jeremiah. You took 2 pictures of 2 people in a neighborhood that they grew up in and put it on a piece of paper to circulate it. Nobody need to see that picture. Their memory didn't need to be jogged of Jeremiah's face. Their memory needed to be jogged
of the people who did it.
Of the people who did it. It's going on a year. Nobody's going to forget Jeremiah's face. But the longer y'all wait to post the actual footage, that is what somebody might forget. Because I know I will never forget the first time I seen somebody pull a gun and shoot. So I'm banking on, if they saw this, maybe this was the first time, it'll be in their memory. Hopefully they weren't drunk. Hopefully they weren't high. You know, you got to say those things. And putting up that was just, to me, stupid. I'm 47 years old. I've had 4 kids in that neighborhood. Why put up his picture as if nobody knew him? All you had to do was say the name and everybody knew him. The public needs to see what y'all saw as far as the cameras. Now the cameras in St. Nick, they were covered, but there was cameras going down the block. Them the pictures that they want to see. And somebody asked me today, did you tell the cops? Did you suggest that to the cops? Okay, and this is what I want to say. You are the cops. Y'all went to school for this. Y'all should know that putting up the picture of somebody that everybody's you weren't gonna get no memories.
That's an issue that can be approached from the Community Affairs Department.
Yeah.
And just challenging that as inappropriate. And it's a reminder of you and the family to your loss, and this causes anxiety.
Yeah, it aids in the breakdown of our neighborhood. They know what they're doing. The housing know what they're doing. The cops know what they're doing. I've stood there and watched a cop to influence a young black boy to say, F the next black one. He wasn't black. He was not a black cop. But you would stand and influence. I stood there and watched He said, what you caring about him for? The hell with him. Would you preach that? Do you think that's, and it was a Spanish cop, do you think that Spanish cop would have preached that to his Spanish people?
No.
Because they stick together like this. Even Jamaicans stick together like this. American black people, it's hard. We can't even agree. You understand me? We have put into our young females' mind that they don't need the black man. They have put into the young black man's mind that all we are mattresses. You understand me? And it's horrible. And each and every day somebody getting killed. Like I said, the month of May alone, 100 kids between the ages of 12 and 19 were murdered. There's only 31 days in May. So how did we get to 100 kids? You just got up and started it's only 31 days in May. How did 100 kids between the ages of 12 and 19 get murdered?
Well, we got work. We have work to do.
Yeah.
And we're gonna work on that. I want to thank you for being here today.
Okay.
This was an amazing story, and
well, next time I come back, hopefully I'll have some company with me. Because, these young black men, the young ones, they need it.
yeah, I thought you were gonna bring one of the young
I
men.
was until he did the dip on me. When I get home, I'll pop him upside. I hope he listens. I'm a mollywop.
Well, once he knows that you got
Well, listen,
microphone you see it on YouTube, I'm sure he'll.
he was one of the boys that was
And
there.
also, do you think by coming here, there's something for you to learn and for others to learn as well?
Of course, there's always something to learn, and it helps me cope.
Good.
And I'm going to cry again tonight. I'm not even going to lie. I mean, just for a female.
So are you crying for hope, the fact that you came here and something wonderful happened, or?
I'm crying because I miss my son first and foremost.
Right.
I'm crying because I have to fight through all of the issues that I have let set in. Understand this. I stopped being suicidal in 2018.
Nice.
It's only 2020. I was suicidal from 2009. Well, no. 2010. The tragic event happened in 2009. I went from being suicidal, a little bit of homicidal, then back to suicidal, and then that just caused me to stop coming outside. Anybody will tell you, all I do is go from my building to the store. And I find that where I live at now, I'm doing the same things. So I'm crying at the fact that my child is not here. I'm crying because it's taking me in a direction that I don't want to go. I've been here. Jeremiah's not the first child that I've buried, but he is the first. He's the only child that I knew that I buried. You understand me? I have conversations with, have mad, funny stories with, and his death puts me in such a way of depression that I won't come out the house. Sometimes I don't come out the room. Sometimes it's just really hard. So my tears are not only for my son, my tears are also for me because I can't get out of my body to stop this pain. Wow. You understand me? So.
But how about this? We're going to do some powerful work.
Okay.
We're going to do some powerful work. I mean, you got on Muhammad Ali and Malcolm X on your T-shirt. So
yes.
Did you wear that for purpose? Did you know you were coming here?
I wore that because I knew I was going to the mosque. I knew I was going to their service today, and this is my boyfriend hoodie, and I love this hoodie. But
nice.
I learned everything from everybody. I don't, even if you're a negative person, you've got some knowledge to share.
Professor Leroy said that this is a classroom. This life thing is a classroom.
Laboratory.
So we in a classroom. Excuse me?
He said he used laboratory sometimes too.
Oh, laboratory, classroom. Okay, sir.
Yeah.
I'll take that, Professor. I'll take that.
I wanted
laboratory.
to say just a couple of more things. I wanted to put my information out there.
Sure.
Okay. My name is Dawn Blueford on Facebook. I
Say
have.
it slowly.
Okay.
Yeah, slow.
Oh, okay.
Hello, my name is Dawn Blueford. I'm on Facebook, DAWNB as in boy, LUFORD. That's my Facebook page. I have a petition against NYCHA on change.org. The petition name is Making NYCHA Responsible. I believe. Just put in NYCHA, NYCHA. You'll see a picture of my son. Please sign the petition. I have two fundraising pages, one on GoFundMe and one on Fundly. You could just go there and put in Jeremiah Draper's name for those, and it'll come up, his story will come up. I have the fundraising pages up because I want to start a foundation in honor of my son, and I need to get incorporated. And the incorporation, it does cost a bit of money that I do not have right now. So I was looking to seek for help for that. And each page, I put a goal of $10,000 on it. That is because I intend to keep fundraising. Once I get off the ground, it's going to keep going. And I'm going to bring my dinner table idea to light.
Great idea.
I'm just asking for the public's help. If I can't get it, I'll appreciate the signatures.
You'll be back. We're gonna do some work together.
Well, hopefully the next time I come back, I'll bring some food.
Yeah, you got some great minds here.
The only way I'm gonna get my food out is if y'all taste it, right? So no pork, no pork, no pork, no pork, no pork at all. Okay. So vegetarian mainly, or what type of meat?
Yeah. No pork.
No pork, but y'all eat meat.
We eat food.
Y'all eat food. Okay. So when y'all invite me back,
Okay.
I'm gonna try to give you an idea of what I want to do, because I know you've suffered some loss. You've suffered some loss, and I think that
Yeah, we all have.
I don't consider a loss suffering. I consider it, like Brother Leroy said, it's a classroom. We here to learn. We got a date with destiny. All of us got a date with destiny.
But I want to, being that
so
y'all
I don't see it as suffering.
Being that y'all are older men, I want to know, how has your life been
Who
since
said we
then,
will?
and how did you make that into positive? You need to talk to the younger people,
Yeah.
because they are the ones that, I'm affected by my son's death, but I have 6 young men out there that were his friends that stayed with him every day, all day, and they need help just as well.
But that situation that happened on the bus with those young ladies is very encouraging to me.
It is, but some people, I'm going to tell you something, when you come from the hood, some people don't know what success really is.
Right, that is
people,
true.
Some
That is
people
true, yes.
equate success with their pockets.
Yeah, right.
And others equate success with their minds. So it could be that you threw those young ladies for a loop, because
did.
you know, in my situation, I've raised 4 kids. I'm not gonna say I did it with minimal help. I wish I had more, but it just didn't work out that way. However, they didn't know they were broke. They didn't know they was poor.
Mm-hmm.
You understand me? And this is what I'm telling you. Just because you don't know it doesn't mean it ain't actual. You understand? You don't know what is because of your parents sometimes. You get what I'm saying?
Okay, we coming to an end.
Yeah.
I would like to do something that we've never done before. I don't know, Professor.
I'm on my way out.
Don't you want to pray?
Yeah.
You're on the way out.
Can we do a little?
That's a rap song, ain't it? On my way out. On my way out.
All the way up.
It's all the way.
All right.
All the way.
Hey, listen.
On the way out, it's all the way up.
Yeah. So give me a quick prayer.
Okay. Oh, Lord, this will be the first time I'm doing this. I don't even know if there's a right way or wrong way to pray. Okay, so here we go. Dear God, please watch over all of our kids tonight. The ones that are still here, the ones that's up there with you. Watch over our families, watch over our men. I don't want nobody to die tonight. I don't want to cry tonight. I don't want to be in pain tonight, empathizing with somebody else's pain. I want us to come together and be the people that I know we are, the people that I know we can be, and teach and learn and just respect each other and love each other. You know, when you love somebody, it's not that, like, just pure love. Just innocent love. Nothing to garner from it. Nothing to gain from it. It's just love of your fellow man. I want the pain to stop. I don't want no more mothers crying. This is a hard pill to swallow, and it's going to get worse. But I just really want you to watch over everybody, young, old, young, female, male, whoever it is, their kids. Just no pain tonight. Let everybody that going to sleep tonight wake up in the morning and get where they got to go and make it back home safe. That's what I pray for.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
A 1-point game. Bryant for the win.
Dear basketball. From the moment I started rolling my dad's tube socks and shooting imaginary game-winning shots in the Great Western Forum, I knew one thing was real. I fell in love with you. A love so deep, I gave you my all. From my mind and body to my spirit and soul. As a 6-year-old boy, deeply in love with you, I never saw the end of the tunnel. I only saw myself running out of one. And so I ran. I ran up and down every court after every loose ball for you. You asked for my hustle. I gave you my heart. Because it came with so much more. I played through the sweat and the hurt. Not because challenge called me, but because you called me. I did everything for you. Because that's what you do when someone makes you feel as alive as you've made me feel. You gave a 6-year-old boy his Laker dream. And I'll always love you for it. But I can't love you obsessively for much longer. This season is all I have left to give. My heart can take the pounding. My mind can handle the grind. But my body knows it's time to say goodbye. And that's okay. I'm ready to let you go. I want you to know now, so we both can savor every moment we have left together. The good and the bad. We have given each other all that we have. And we both know, no matter what I do next, I'll always be that kid with the rolled up socks, garbage can in the corner, 5 seconds on the clock, ball in my hands. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Love you always, Kobe.